Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me Kagem and welcome to a new dragging video. Let's get into it, you guys. Like, without further ado, let's do this. Today we're in the Audemars Piguet boutique in Paris, France. It's on Rue Royale. It's close to the Madeleine Church and to Big H, FSH's flagship store. I own a Royal Oak offshore. I stopped by the boutique to look at some new models. The manager was very rude with a very condescending attitude, and we're shocked we didn't have an appointment. So crazy, right? I understand the need to portray a sense of exclusivity, but the place was totally empty. This is totally absurd. Don't go to this boutique. A few things. First of all, this location, it's really hard to get an appointment there. They don't respond to emails. And also, they really, particularly this location, they really dislike tourists walking in, trying to get a walk-in appointment. They want you to follow the protocol of requesting an appointment. Even though you have a Royal Oak offshore, so does everyone else in there, okay? Everyone else who shops there probably has that watch that this gentleman has. They probably have other watches that this gentleman may have or may not have. Do you know what I mean? It always makes me laugh whenever people in these drag reviews are like, well, I have this and I have that. Everyone else does too, okay? Do not walk up in there thinking you're special because you have like one item, you know, from the brand. It's unfortunate, but again, anyone who has high-end watches like Patek Philippe, Vacheron Constantin, you know, Audemars Piguet, Rolex, so on and so forth, understands and knows very well that these luxury brands really want you to have an appointment. They really dislike people who try and walk in and look at things without an appointment. I've seen this in a lot of these luxury watch reviews. People have been skull dragged at Richard Mille, skull dragged at Audemars, skull dragged at Patek dealerships for not having appointments. The next one is also from the AP boutique. A clear lack of humanity on part of this store. I was with my daughter. We were sheltered under the store's awning while waiting for the traffic light to turn green for the pedestrian crossing. I know exactly where she was standing. And we're waiting for the pedestrian light to turn green. And to my surprise, this is when the awning began to close. We observed after crossing the street that they had put it right back up after we left. But they put it right back after we left. This really doesn't give a nice image of the store. We haven't had the chance to purchase anything from them yet, but I can assure you it won't be in this lifetime. This is wrong. I mean, look, the problem with the luxury girls is, look, I know that customers can be difficult. I remember when I had my beauty boutiques, people can be very, very difficult in shops and stores. And many of you who are customers, but you've never run a retail store, you'd be surprised how many people can be very annoying. Standing outside of the store because it's raining, you know, was it a missed opportunity by Audemars? The security could have come out and maybe offered them to use a company umbrella. It's raining, you know, they're not clients, that's true, but that would have been a nice little touch. But at the same time, you know, I don't know. You know, like they're standing there and then you're like pulling it up so they're gonna be wet, and she's with her daughter. I mean, it's a bit harsh. It's a bit over the top. People can be really annoying in retail stores. They were wrong for this. I know what to say when the girls are wrong. They're wrong for this. The next one is the Louis Vuitton Boston boutique in the United States. I went here to exchange a wallet. It seems my business didn't impress them and I got completely ignored. My essay showed me several options reluctantly and didn't bother to talk to me. Her eyes and mind were on somewhere else the entire time. I feel sorry for her being so money driven. Baby, boo boo, it is a shop. It is a shop, a store, a retail establishment. It is her job to sell or she gets fired. What do clients not understand? You are wrong. This person is wrong. Sorry, was I clear? This person's wrong, okay? You were there to exchange. The essay is not gonna make any money. It's not gonna make any commission. These people have huge targets they need to hit every day, particularly a location like Boston. That's a very famous city in America. Lots of money there. You came to exchange something. I would have just exchanged it and left. I don't know why people need to be so dramatic about it. She doesn't have to serve you as if you are purchasing a brand new item. She doesn't. I'm sorry. Sorry. She doesn't. Okay, and I think that there's a misunderstanding here. A lot of people who go and do these like exchanges, they feel like they should be served the same as someone who is purchasing a brand new item. You're not making the SA any money. Do your exchange, boo-boo, and move your legs and leave the store. She's wrong. The next one is still the Boston Boutique. Could I give this less than 1 star? I came into the boutique without a reservation, but I own multiple LV pieces and I got the worst service ever. Upon entering, I was looked up and down, and what I assumed was an assessment of what I was wearing. I was assigned an SA, and we walked around the store and we browsed. And as we browsed, we were mocked and laughed at. My husband noticed before I did, and the SA pointed and laughed at us while our assigned SA, or another SA was laughing at them while their assigned SA laughed back. Never have I experienced worst customer service. I was so close to buying an item, quickly decided against it. I know LV is a high-end brand, but if it's so high-end and it's really snooty, I don't want anything to do with it. The girls are snooty. This is who the girls are. You know, we've talked about this before in dragging videos, maybe like, how are you turning up to the store if it's, particularly if it's a location where no one knows who you are? At your local store, you can turn up in trackies and sweats and look a raggedy hot mess. You know, I think that's fine. At your local store where you're known, they know that you're a spender, they're like, oh, okay, you know, here comes Kagam looking a raggedy hot mess, but she's our customer, it's fine. But I think if it's like a location that you're not known, even if you have a big account at Louis Vuitton or any of the brands, I think like you need to just be aware of the fact that at the end of the day, they don't know you. So they're gonna judge like the way you look. And we live in an image-driven world. I mean, these brands sell image. It's not far-fetched for them to judge you based on the way you're dressed. And I know I'm gonna get Pegasus unicorns coming now saying, I walked in naked and you know, I was ready to spend $10,000. Okay, cool, but like they don't care. No, don't get me wrong, $10,000 is a lot of money. And we've talked about this before, it's a lot of money, but like relative to the store and to what these stores make every day, there are many people who are going to come into the boutique that day who are going to have a lot of money to spend. This person owns multiple Louis Vuitton items. This person knows how much, like has a lot of Louis Vuitton stuff. Then they know very well that if they're going to a new Louis Vuitton where they're not known, they need to look snatched and cute, or they're gonna get dragged like they got dragged here. You claim to know Louis Vuitton, but maybe you don't. The next one is from Louis Vuitton New Bond Street in London, in the UK. The staff didn't even acknowledge me once I had gotten their attention and I was talked down to. I asked about getting my item hot stamped and was told they don't do them anymore. When I purchased my passport holder, I was told I could go to any location. And the man told me, yeah, I'm sure. No, hold on, wait. I beg your pardon. When I purchased my passport holder, I was told I could do it at any location. And the man told me, yeah, I'm sure you saw that on TikTok, but, and the person rolled his eyes. I never mentioned TikTok and I'm a paying customer. This is foul. That's wrong. I wish an SA would tell me, oh, I bet you saw that on TikTok. I'll be like, you need to sit your butt down. Okay, I don't think that this is far-fetched. I don't think it's wrong for the person to ask for hot stamping. So I don't know why this person got dragged. Maybe the SA was having a bad day. The TikTok drag and the TikTok dig was unnecessary. Come on now. The final one was, I went in wanting to buy a bag. I asked the staff to recommend me something to buy. She told me everything is on the shelf. I decided to buy a bag by browsing. When paying, my card declined. It happens. I later found out my bank thought it was a fraud transaction. The SA didn't offer me any help. All she did was make derogatory remarks. I cannot afford that bag that costs £2,100. After she asked her manager over, the manager came over. The attitude of the manager was even worse. The male manager gave me horrible attitude. Eventually my transaction passed as I tried different cards and never stepping into this branch again. This is very unpleasant. I'm sure we've all had those experiences where maybe you go to buy something and your card declines. Particularly if you're traveling abroad, like, yeah, your bank is protecting you. They're actually doing what they're supposed to do, which is to protect their customers, because it could be like a fraud transaction or whatever. This is very unpleasant and very unfortunate, the way that this person was treated. It's not a good feeling. And I think that SAs need to like be normal about stuff like this. people's cards get declined all the time. It does not mean the person doesn't have any money on their card. It just means that maybe there was a glitch or maybe there's an issue. You know, and particularly like tourists getting their cards declined, it happens all the time. If it happens to you in Paris, like, don't worry about it. It happened once to me during the trip. I wasn't buying any luxury items. I was shopping just for like just normal bits and pieces. My card declined. I contacted my like liaison banking manager on WhatsApp in Tanzania. I was like, hey, like, is everything okay with my card? It declined. And then she checked and she was like, oh no, but everything's fine. Like, you're Gucci. Like, why did it decline? Like, you should be fine. And then I tried it at every other place. It worked. It just didn't work at this one place. So I think that they were having a problem with their terminal. Like, it wasn't my card. These things happen. When it declined, it wasn't a big deal. I was speaking to her in French and she's like, oh, it's not working. And she's like, I can try another card for you. I was like, yeah, sure. I gave her another card and it worked. It wasn't a big deal. Now, granted, it wasn't a £2,000 handbag where, you know, maybe there might be some potential for embarrassment. But the bottom line is cards decline all the time. If your card declines, don't feel embarrassed. Just try another card and pay for your item and go on your merry way. Should the SA like, you know, be rude about it? No, the SA shouldn't be rude about it. But some SAs are going to be rude about it, which is unfortunate and unpleasant. So you let me know what you think. Today, I think that we're kind of 50-50. I'm kind of on the side of customers today. And normally I'm pretty tough on clients because I think some people are delusional about like their standing at these stores, particularly as tourists. Like some people walk into these boutiques as tourists and think that they own the store because they bought something that was £1,000 or €1,000 or $1,000. You going into like the New Bond Street Louis Vuitton and spending £1,000, I'm sure they're happy to have your business, but at the end of the day, there are people going in there spending tens of thousands of pounds in that store. Same thing for the Cartier Fifth Avenue flagship. You know, you could go in there and buy something and be like, okay, cool, but like I need everyone to bow down to me because I bought like, you know, one love ring or one Juste un Clou ring. It's like there are people who literally spend tens of thousands of dollars at the Cartier Fifth Avenue flagship in New York in America. So, you know, I'm tough on customers because I think some people really think that they run that place. They think when they got there, I run this place. It's like, no, you don't. Okay. And SAs are like, let me stop you right there. You don't run SHIT in here. Okay. But sometimes I feel like SAs can be unfair. Like in this final story, why are you being weird about it? Like cards decline every day. It does not mean the person doesn't have money. There could be a glitch. It could be a fraud transaction. There could be all kinds of things. All you have to do is call your bank. I think my tip, if anyone cares what I think, if your card declines and you're abroad, just be like, okay, you know, try another card. And have that like backup emergency card that maybe you don't use often so that the payment goes through. At minimum, you could also be like, okay, hang on, let me just go to the bank and get some cash. And you can pay in cash. £2,000 in London, you can absolutely pay for that in cash and it's not a problem either. Do you know what I mean? You could be like, okay, hang on, let me just go to the ATM or to the cash point, you know, and get some cash. And that is also fine as well. Let me know what you think about today's dragging video episode. Let me know if you want to see more of these. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Guys, subscribe to the channel. That's more powerful. A lot of you watch dragging videos where you don't subscribe. I think some of you watch the playlist and you wait for me to update the playlist. Please subscribe because that is more powerful. That supports me more. So subscribe to the channel and sign up for the newsletter because the newsletter comes out every Friday. I would love to see you in the newsletter as well. I can see someone has just subscribed. Thank you to whomever that person was. God bless you. Thank you so much for subscribing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video.